As you know, we are in this lockdown situation because of COVID 19 since more than 2 months now, and we still don't know where and how this will even end. So, to help us balance and maintain our personal and emotional mindset, I wanted to help you with a few tips to enable you to structure your time and make it a little more productive. I'm Beatrice Fernandez, an ICF accredited life coach and certified mind power trainer. I'm very passionate about relationships. I've especially been working with families as well as business leaders and teams to help them to scientifically evaluate their core competencies, their limiting beliefs around them, and to suggest ways to utilize their inborn talents and abilities to realize their highest potential. I believe that what we sow, so shall we reap. Hence, what we need to be doing now is sowing what we need to reap by by the time we are out of this lockdown. I would like to talk about the number one success principle you need to put you in control of your destiny. Yes, this is one thing which will change everything else for you. This is based on the book The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I'm also a Jack Canfield coach certified in the Success Principles. Now, we've all seen a caterpillar, how it transforms from a landlocked, crawling, legged worm to a beautiful, symmetrical, flight, gifted, peaceful butterfly. There's nothing in the caterpillar that tells us it's going to be a butterfly, right? Everything has the potential to get metamorphosed into something better than before. Who knows what talents we'll develop, what insights we hold, what impacts we'll go on to make. So, what I'm saying is we have to believe that within us is the power to rise above any situation or struggle and transform into the brightest, strongest version of us ever. Yes, we have unlimited power. Let's take the story of Aladdin and the magic lamp. We all know the story, how when Aladdin was left alone with the dirty lamp in the bottom of the cave and he rubbed it to clean it, and a genie appeared, granting him 3 wishes. What did the genie tell Aladdin? Your wish is my command. Friends, I have news for you. Each of us has a genie inside of us. The key is whether we are able to believe and access it. This brings us to the number one principle we are talking about today, and that is taking 100% responsibility for your life. Let me break it down into simple steps. Do you know the moment you take responsibility for everything in your life is the moment you gain the power to change anything in your life? This includes the level of your achievements, the results you produce, the quality of your relationships, your health, and physical fitness, everything. Now, for taking 100% responsibility, you have to give up 4 things forever. First, blaming others. Blaming the environment, our parents, our boss, our children, yes, even coronavirus. Don't we just resort to blaming others when we feel that things are not going the way we want them to? Second, complaining. Complaining about circumstances and events. Because government didn't do enough in time, now we are suffering, kind of. How many of us have actually been saying this now that we are in this 4th lockdown even? Does any one of us complain about gravity? No, we don't, right? Isn't that just because we have no reference point or something better than that? We just know that gravity is just there. It's a universal law that we have to just accept, right? Next, we have to stop justifying our lack of results. My boss takes all the credit for my work and hence I don't get a proper appraisal or increment. Aren't many of us not guilty of this one? Yeah. And last but not least, defending my position, whatever the situation. Example, even though I work so efficiently, I don't think I can be rich because I'm born and raised in a very poor background with limited facilities and resources. Don't many of us just settle for this, believing that we are just destined to be poor just because we were raised poor? So in short, you have to hold yourself completely accountable for your life and the results that you produce in your life. That is, the kind of impact that your current level of personal responsibility has on the results that you're getting today. So, this principle can be explained best with a simple formula: E plus R equals O. Events plus response equals our outcome. If I suddenly tell you what a bad person you are, how horrible you look, what will your reaction be? Of course, you'll feel very bad, right? Why? Because you believe what I told you, isn't it? On the other hand, suppose you understand and decide for yourself that I don't have the right to judge you, or that maybe I'm just judging you from the outside appearance alone. Would that affect you now? Not really, right? Therefore, it's not what I say to you, but what you say to yourself when I stop talking that determines how you feel. What I said to you was the event, and how you responded determines the kind of outcome you had. This means you do not control the events, you do control your response. Therefore, if we want to change the outcome, we will have to change the response. So we've understood that the power to respond in any situation is within us, haven't we? Most of us have heard about Viktor Frankl. Some of us may even have studied his work in school or college. He was a renowned neurologist and psychiatrist, by the way. But do you know what? Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor. He was a survivor of 4 concentration camps at the hands of the Nazis. That was the most horrible experience of his life, right? And he survived against all odds when everyone around him just perished. But for him, it was clearly the choice he made in the way he responded to his situation. He believed that what was really needed was a fundamental change in our attitude toward life. Yes, my dear friends, it is possible to control our responses even when we are faced with frightening hardships. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response, and in our response lies our growth and our freedom. Let's look at what these responses are. Another bit of good news. There are only 3 responses in our complete control. Isn't that fantastic? I hope that makes it sound easy. Let's have a look at them one by one, shall we? First, your thoughts. This includes all your self-talk, what you say to yourself, as well as your beliefs, both conscious and unconscious. Conscious thought could be something like, today is a beautiful sunny day. An unconscious thought, on the other hand, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, I have to have a horrible day. Next, your visual imagery. The pictures in your head, including the images of the future. How you see yourself physically, the kind of friends you hang out with, the kind of relationships you have, etc. Then, your behavior, including your words that you speak and how you say them even, as well as your actions, what you do and don't do even. Example, when we binge eat, even though we know consciously that it's going to have the consequences on our health. You would have heard this saying by Jim Rohn, you can't hire someone to do your push-ups for you. Yeah? Let's do this. Fill in the blank. If you decided to take just 10% more responsibility for your life, what would you do? I urge you to take some time, write down your answer, and see how you feel about taking action towards that. Alright? Let's move on. Let's look at another analogy, shall we? You are at a breakfast meeting and you go to the counter to pour yourself a cup of coffee. Suddenly, someone from behind bumps into you and the coffee spilled over. Why did you spill the coffee? He bumped into me, of course, you say. Wrong answer, I say. You spilled the coffee because there was coffee in your cup. Had there been tea in the cup, you would have spilled tea. So whatever is inside the cup is what will spill out. Therefore, when life comes along and shakes you, which will happen, whatever is inside will come out. So we have to ask ourselves, what's in my cup? When life gets tough, what spills over? Joy, gratefulness, peace, humility? Or will it be anger, bitterness, harsh words, and reactions? You get to choose. Throughout the ups and downs of daily life, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and erupt with anger, impatience, or harshful words. You can either consciously respond or unconsciously react. Today, let's work towards filling our cups with gratitude, forgiveness, joy, words of affirmation. So why am I suggesting that, right? You would have come across the law of attraction. Law of attraction says, like attracts like. What we give out, we get back. Think about that for a moment. Take some time today to describe to yourself your outside world. Now look deeply inside of yourself and have a good look at your inner world. If you have conflict, struggle, hate, anger, depression, and fear on the inside, you will find it will manifest and become part of your outside world. These things you see outside are mirrors of the parts of you that are waiting to be healed inside. The world within is the cause, and the world outside is just the effect. Want to change the effect? Change the cause. We are not in control of the outside world. We are in control of our inner world. That's where our power lies. So when we talk of joy, gratefulness, peace, humility, all these help to raise our level of vibrations. Whereas anger, impatience, hurtful words all go into decreasing our level of vibrations. Hence we see that our thoughts, words, images, and feelings, which is all our responses, create our physical reality. That is our results. Now, where do thoughts come from? They come from our mind, of course, right? Hence, don't we need to understand our mind? It is very aptly referred to in the Bhagavad Gita also. It says the mind can be man's best friend or the worst enemy unless we are able to conquer or control it. Now, according to studies done by a psychiatrist named James Allen, even the most successful people are able to use maximum 10% of their mind power. Even Albert Einstein was able to use maximum 5%. Why is this so? Do you think it's just because of ignorance of the mind? I suppose, right? Buddha has said this. We are shaped by our thoughts. What we think, we become. Now, then how do we reprogram the mind, right? Remember I told you we have a genie within us? Now this genie happens to be asleep till we awaken it, just like in Aladdin's story. I'll make this a little simple for you, right? Just 3 steps. Step 1. Be 100% clear of what you want. If I have to briefly explain clarity, it simply boils down to what you are passionate about and how you can make that your life purpose. Right? Step 2. Stay focused. Create your own vision board, your own goal book. Get clear about what goals you have in all areas of your life. If I should have to name them, these would be: 1, financial, all your income, your net worth, right? 2, the business goals, your profession or career. Then recreation, fun time, hobbies, travel, all of those. Next would be health, your fitness, physical appearance, etc. Next, your relationships, your family and friends, right? Personal, your projects, your learning, purchases, etc. And last, your contribution, the kind of service you do, the community, your giving back, your legacy you leave behind, right? That brings us to the final step, the results, right? The final step is where the results come in. How? By taking massive action. Both obvious actions, that is what you know you have to do, as well as inspired ones. That is what you get by learning, right? Learning by your intuitions, your dreams, your visualization, all that. But most importantly, never ever give up. Thank you.